Hey, you guys, you made it. You made it to the end of our Revit intro, adding features into a shed that is pre-existing in Revit. For this lesson, for your final lesson of the week, we are going to be taking what has been designed in Revit and adding it into a sheet of paper that is all ready to go and be printed in a specific size piece of paper. So hold on, this is the most technical of all of our lessons so far, but I have faith that you can do it. First thing you want to do, of course, is make sure that you have that file opened from your Google Drive. If you need help on that, ask your teacher for help. There are videos from earlier in the week that will be a great resource too. All right, here we go. To get started, we need to go to the Properties section in the left-hand ribbon of our screen. If you miss this step, when you add the next couple things, it won't show up correct. So on the view scale, I have to change this. Architects rarely print things out in 1/8 of an inch equals a foot. I need to change that default in Revit from where it is to where it needs to be. Architects 9 times out of 10 print things to a scale of 1/4 of an inch equals 1 foot 0 inches. What on earth does that mean? That means that when we print this out on a piece of paper, what we see on our paper is a foot in real life is only 1/4 of an inch on the paper. So a whole inch on your paper is 4 feet in real life. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit abstract when it comes to thinking about Revit and architecture, but that's the scale we're going to switch to. All right, next thing, I want to go to my 3D view, and I want to modify a couple of things. If your 3D tab isn't open, let me show you again how to do that. So I'm in my architecture tab as a default. I'm going to slide over to my view tab, and I'm going to double click on 3D view. So here it is. It opened up in a new little tab. Right below, I have my floor plan, but I also have the 3D version of my shed. So I'm just going to take these view planes, and I'm going to swoosh them in, sliding in. I do not want them to hit my shed, but I do want them to be in tighter. It'll make more sense when we get into printing. I don't want to hit anything on my drawing, but I do want to bring them in tighter. So I'm going to do this for my floor level. Looks great. And I'm going to do the same thing for my roof level. I'm not looking for anything too exact here. It's a little bit glitchier than normal because I am working through the AWS, but that's okay. There we go. Just being really careful that I'm not too quick with my movement and I actually run into my shed. All right. So now that I have it moved in, I should be able to come over here to my orientation cube. We haven't really looked at this yet because we haven't looked at how to view anything in 3D. This orientation cube is so neat, but if I click on this little house right here, bam, it should zoom in and give me a much closer view of my shed. This is exactly what I was looking for. So I'm good with that step. And I'm going to leave this view scale on 1/8. Notice on my floor, my view scale is 1/4 of an inch equals a foot, but I really want to leave this 3D view on 1/8 of an inch equals a foot. So nailing it. I'm just rocking this so far. So I've done a lot of work, so I better just hop over here and hit save because that was some technical stuff and I don't want to lose it. Boom. Remember, when I save in here, I don't get a visual confirmation when I'm in my AWS or when I'm in Revit, but if I hop over to my Google Drive tab, I will get a visual confirmation that I have saved. I haven't hit refresh, so it's not showing up. Okay, you guys, next step. We are going to head back to our floor plan and we are going to zoom all the way out. Whoops, wrong way. Zoom all the way out. Remember, you can zoom with your mouse, with the scroll, or 2 fingers on your trackpad. And I need to now move these little shapes, these little bullet points. They have a name and I can't think of them right now. I need to move these in closer to my shed. To do that, I'm going to click and drag and make a box around them. Let's zoom in on it a little bit. There we go. Click and drag. There we go. And with my 4 arrows, I'm going to move it in nice and tight to my shed. Click and slide and drag. 4 arrows and click, hold, and drag and move it in. I have 2 more to go. Click, hold, and drag. And then 4 arrows, click, hold, and drag. 1 more. I'm going to scroll out, see if I can find it. Scroll out. There it is. There we go. Click, hold, and drag. And then 4 arrows and move it in. I'm going to click on this teeny tiny little tool over here to zoom in, zoom on my region. Come on, you can do it, computer. Zoom to fit. There we go. Now, these little boxes are going to be in a lot tighter. That's going to make a huge impact when I move on to my next step, which is adding in a sheet. I'm going to just take and modify this a teeny bit more. Hit escape because I'm still zooming. There we go. Select that and slide it in. The tighter these are, the better off my print will turn out. So I want to get them in as tight as possible without touching anything. Whoop, too far. All right, there we go. Boom. Now I'm ready to add in a sheet. This is where I'm going to go to my project browser. We haven't done much over here, but you can see I have my project browser listed on the left side of my screen in that ribbon. I am going to go to Sheets. Now if I click on it, nothing is going to happen because I don't have any sheets added yet. So here's where I need to change up how I click on things. So far, all we've been doing is a regular click on the mouse. Now we need to do a 2-finger click if you have a mouse, or, sorry, I said that backwards. 2-finger click if you have a trackpad, or a right click if you have a mouse. So do that on your sheets to get that window to pop up, and then click on New Sheet. Once you have your new sheet loaded, you will not see your B title block here. Because I've edited in Revit before, I have my B title block opened and loaded, but you need to as well, because that's the size title block we're going to be using. So to get that B title block loaded, you're going to go to Load, and you are going to probably default into your casework folder because that's the last one you were in, but we're going to pop back to our US Imperial folder. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and we're going to click on title blocks. Now I have it selected. I'm going to do a double click, and here are all of the title blocks that are available when we're measuring in the US measurement system. They're all named A through E1. Each are a different size. You can see that A is 8.5 by 11, which is just a standard size piece of paper. But we're going to load in that 11 by 17. I want you to click on it and then click on Open. And on your screen, when you do that, your B will show up here. Select it and click on OK. Now I have a third tab. I have my floor, I have my 3D, and I have my unnamed sheet. Now that I have my unnamed sheet open, I'm going to scroll up to my project browser and I'm going to click on Floor. Notice how on my screen I don't change to my floor plan. I stay in my sheet view, which is perfect. To get my floor plan into my sheet, when it has that blue rectangle around it, I'm going to click, hold, and drag. Now I should be getting a little bit of a preview. Let's see if I let go. There we go. I'm not holding onto my mouse. I had slid it in. It's just kind of waiting for me. It's waiting for me to say, hey, where do you want to drop that? Well, I want to drop that off to the side. I'm going to put it down to the bottom. I don't want 1/4 of an inch equals a foot hitting my title block. You see that it's blue down on the bottom? This is right where I want to put it. So I'm just going to take my mouse and I'm going to click one more time. And now I have my floor plan added in. It says floor here. I have my little boxes around it. Perfect. Now I'm going to try, we're going to cross our fingers. Let's see if I have space to do the same thing with my 3D view. because it is 1/8 of an inch. So let's see if there's room. I'm going to move it in. Yes, I can barely squeeze it in because I moved those in. And I have my 2D line that's highlighted in blue is not hitting that little shape down below. I'm going to give this a whirl. I don't want it to hit my title block. It's really being sensitive with the mouse. Let's click. Boom! So I now have my 3D view and my 2D floor plan view in my project. Awesome sauce. So I'm going to hit save because I don't want to lose that progress. And now I'm going to get it ready for turning in. We are not, I repeat, we are not turning in a screenshot for this assignment. You are going to export/print this as a PDF. So if you wanted to really print it out, it would turn out as a very nice, high quality drawing. To do that, I'm going to go to the word File, and I'm going to go down to the word Print. I know that sounds really weird because we're really not printing it, but that's what we're going to choose. So I'm going to go to Print. Now, yours might default to something different. It might default to DCV Printer. I want you to change it to Microsoft Print to PDF. Then take a peek in the name box. It should default to your D drive, Phototon users, My File, Google Drive, My Drive, and then the folder that you're looking for. If it doesn't default to that folder in your Google Drive, please contact your teacher because there is something goofed up. But if you can see, I arrowed across and it's called shedforediting.pdf. So that is what I am going to be looking for when I go to my assignment in Schoology. So I'm going to click on OK. And then I'm going to click on Close. And let's check this out. I'm going to go to this PC. I'm going to go to Google Drive. I'm going to go to My Drive. I'm going to go to my folder that I have it stored in, my architecture folder. And I'm going to name it Shed. I'm just going to leave it that. Click on Save. Now it's going to do a little thinking. Let's cross our fingers. And now I should see it in my Google Drive. So here it is. I'm going to hit a refresh because it should have shown up by now, but my internet's a little slow right now. There's too many people on it. And it didn't work. Oh, I take that back. Here it is. It just needs a little bit of time. And this is the awesome part about turning it into a PDF. When you double click on that PDF in your drive, you can see your work. This is the file that you're going to load into Schoology. This one. If you do the same thing on shedforediting.rvt, this is what you see. So this PDF file that you created in your app stream that you went to File and Print for, that is the file you are going to submit for your summative for Green Architecture Unit 2.